In March, at the UN Geneva during the 37th Human Rights Council sessions, the Polish Embassy, the Holy See, ADF International and Aid to the Church in Need International arranged this side panel to analyze the situation of religious minorities in armed conflicts, especially in the Middle East and Africa.
When the state begins to enforce religion through its legal sector and political sector, it has no space to respect rights of everybody. Immediately, those who are seen to be in a minority or are in a minority, in accordance to religious definitions, are exposed to discrimination at varying levels, and this can range from harassment to mass atrocities, as we have seen in some of the regions that we described. Having said that,
Philipp Ozores is the head of the Pontifical Foundation Aid to the Church in Need International, that focuses on assisting the Church wherever it is persecuted, oppressed or in material need. Don't we witness that religious persecution is almost reduced to this or presented mainly as a pure political matter?
The religious dimension is an independent one, but only one of many dimensions of these conflicts. So what we, as an organization, we clearly strive is to always have both dimensions in our mind. Be true to the spiritual mission, but also be aware of the legal opportunities and the political opportunities to help religious minorities.
This woman was kidnapped and abused by ISIS only because she belongs to the Yazidis, a Kurdish religious minority group. Later she was able to escape and now gives all credits to God who, she said, has heard and answered her prayers.
Because now today I am free. I am free, and I think without God's help I would not be free. When I was praying, I was not only asking help from God for myself, but also for all those who were in captivity, and I hope others will be freed soon.
Do you believe that the UN does enough to fight religious persecution?
I don't think it does enough already. I understand the situations are often very difficult. And as we already said before, the religious dimension always, or often, very often comes with other dimensions as well, of war, of armed conflict. So the needs are very big and very acute in many ways. However, we see, and of course from our very Christian perspective, that the UN has not been very quick and effective in reacting to the needs of minorities where they have come under threat.
We should focus on what we have in common and not what creates division. It's a necessity. Therefore, this means that we must encourage and underscore the positive illustration present in a report showing how a real coexistence is possible, and how to deny religious freedom to other persons can only lead to reduction of our own freedom.
Do you think that Pope Francis, who's very outspoken when it comes to the subject, is a mediator, an ambassador, and does the Vatican influence or change things?
Well, we are absolutely thrilled on how clearly the Holy Father speaks, not just about all those suffering in the world, but especially mentions religious persecution and the persecution of Christians as a main cause he is fighting for. So I think the Vatican does exactly what it needs to do. It is bring to the light the problems in the world, bring it to the governments, but also bring it to the many hundreds of millions of Christians around the world, so that they are aware and that they act as well.
This bishop says, no one is coming to help us. There's nothing we can do, and now the civilian population is terrorized. Groups of Muslims we've welcomed with so much love for 10 months. We look at them now with some fear, because they've shown a lot of hostility against us. This panel was also a Mayday call to the world community, not only to condemn the persecution of religious minorities, but more important, to contribute to the implementation of their protection.